Okay, class, welcome to Dftg 1317 AutoCAD Architecture. And today we're actually going to start drawing the building sections. But first things first, let's make sure that I have all of my volume working so we don't have that issue like we had the first time I recorded videos. The volume looks like it's working just fine, so that's good. So first things first, I want you to open up your CAD file, okay, and you should have, and if you're not up to par, you need to get your drawings up to speed. You should have your first and second floor plans drawn. You should have your roof plan drawn. You should have your elevations drawn, okay? And you should have your site plan drawn. Now my file is only showing the two that I drew. I left the other two up for you guys to draw, which is basically these guys here. You're just gonna reproduce them here, okay? Make sure you're reproducing these and not copying these because you paid for this course. I want you to make sure that you're getting what you paid for. Okay, yeah, you can copy these and assign layers to it and things of that nature, but it's not going to do you any justice in terms of you learning the software and actually developing a greater level of fluidity with the use of this software. Okay, so if you have not got your elevations complete, I go back and look at the elevations video. It does take a little time, but not too much time consuming. All of the elevations should be to this level, okay? And I think I started here with me leaving it for you guys to actually go ahead and finish it, okay? So you should have your elevations drawn, and you should also have your site plan drawn, okay? This is what your site plan should look like. There are videos for everything for you guys to look at. So make sure you take some time to get that done, all right? I would suggest if you have not gotten it done, you need to hold up on this next module 7 before we get that done, okay? So we're gonna take a look at sections, and let's go look at the modules. We're gonna look at sections, and then we're gonna actually draw, we're omitting this one. You see I don't have it turned on, okay? So we're gonna have sections, then we're gonna have wall sections and stair sections and things of that nature, okay? Or we may do wall sections and stair sections and kitchens and baths together. Remember we talked about having to actually double up on the workload, okay? But first things first, I want you to focus on drawings that you have not gotten completed. I want you to go ahead and spend some time getting those completed if you have not gotten them completed to date, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the sections. And what I want to do is, I want you guys to do a save as. So you're gonna come here, you're gonna click save as. And you're gonna rename it, Dftg 1317 model A, or whatever you name it, just name it sections behind that, dash sections, okay? And then click save. All right, now, typically your sections will actually come from your elevations, and I'll show you guys exactly what that entails. However, let's go ahead and delete. Once you did a save as, you actually see that you have two drawings. You have your floor plans and everything that we drew up into the sections, and we're gonna have a file that we're gonna use for sections, okay? So what's in this sections file, you can delete everything out of it, okay? So let's go ahead and delete all of this, and let's go ahead, delete everything except for the elevations, okay? And I'm gonna delete these out of my two files because I'm not gonna draw them in. I'm just gonna leave it in for you guys to draw. And let's go ahead and delete the site plan because you already have that saved in the original document, right? And the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to use other drawings to actually draw the building section. But what I like to do is I like to X-reference them in. In fact, let's open up the file that we just saved as. Let's go and open up Model A drawing, okay? And this is the file that you just overwrote. You have your sections file with nothing in it, and then you have your original Dftg 1317 model file. Okay, if you hold down Control and you hit Tab, you can toggle between the files. Okay, just hold down Control and hit Tab. You can toggle between all of the files. Okay, just something that you'll need to do as you grow in the knowledge and fluidity of your use of the AutoCAD software. Okay, so what we are going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to use the X reference function. Okay, And the reason why I opened up this Model A file is because I want to show you guys how sections are derived. So I'm going to copy this guy here, okay? I'm just going to copy it over to show you guys a little something, and then I'll just undo what I'm doing. So a section cut, it's actually, let's just say, it's a gigantic, if you took a gigantic saw and you cut this portion of the building off, say if you had your cut line that's about right here, okay? You took a big saw and you cut along this green line here. You just, so what that's going to do is going to show you the interior makeup of the wall, what it's made up of. Okay, it's also going to show you the makeup of the door. It's going to actually show the makeup of the interior wall. It's actually just taking a saw, cutting the building in half, or cutting a portion of the building to show the contractor, hey, this is how these walls are constructed. Hey, this is what the building looks like in section. So that's all the section cut is, all right? You see these little markers that we copied over? These are all wall sections, all right? And these are just sections that we will actually draw in after we get our building sections. The wall sections will be derived from the building sections, and from the building sections we'll derive the section details, okay? They all work together as regards putting a set of construction documents together. So, that's why I wanted to, copy this over and show it to you. So what we're going to use is we are going to use the X reference and the X clip function to bring this into another file, because a lot of times if you use this file, you can wind up deleting something. You can wind up, having something just misplaced. It's cleaner when you're doing your building sections to actually X reference these drawings in, okay? So you say, Mr. Washington, what do you mean, Professor? What is the X reference? So when you go to this original file and you want to X reference drawings in, the first thing you're going to do is type in XREF. So that's X, REF, hit the space bar to activate it. And the X reference menu should pop up. This is it right here, okay? So let's go ahead and right here you want to click in, see where it says Dftg 1317? Okay, that's the drawing that you're in. So you want to X reference other drawings into this drawing file as well. When you X reference them in, they will not be manipulatable. Only thing you'll be able to do is X clip them, and you can turn layers on and off as well. We'll get into that in a second. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to right click and you want to click attach drawing. Then you want to go to wherever you have your drawing saved. Okay. 1317. And you want to click this drawing and tell it that this is the drawing that you want to bring in, and then click open, okay? And then it's going to say, okay, specify on screen. We want it to just come in. We don't want to scale it. Leave everything is as it is in the default settings. Don't change any of this. So then you want to click OK. Now you want to zoom out and you want to click and then click OK. And now you want to see if we can locate where do these drawings go. Let's see. Looks like we have something over here. Yeah, there they are. Okay. So you see it's a little bit grayed out. It's a little bit dark. So you want to take this and hit select it and hit M for move. Let's move this over. Okay. And turn off the F8 function. And let's bring this right here. Boom. All right. So what did I say we were going to use? We're going to use the floor plans to actually draw the building sections, and we're going to use the elevations. So first thing we want to do is we want to actually clip. In fact, let's copy this up one. Copy. Okay. Because we have the elevations here. So let's go ahead and clip this file. What you would do is you type in XCLIP, XClip, select it, then select that drawing, hit the space bar to activate it. Enter clipping option. Okay, you want to click clip it, and you want to select new boundary, and you want to use a rectangle, okay? And you want to draw a rectangle around the first floor plan. Now, as you can see, everything else went away, okay? The only thing that we have left is the first floor plan. So now we'll take this and we will move it down to our elevations, okay? And we will project a line up, RAY, from the elevations, because we'll use these to derive our sections, okay? Turn the F8 function on. And then you're going to take this guy and move it over. Okay, so hit move, and you want to align this exterior wall with the exterior wall on your elevations. Okay. Now next, we made a copy of it for a reason. We need to actually X-clip out what? The second floor plan. So we have the first floor plan. We need the second floor plan. Let's make up another copy because we have to actually X-clip out the roof plan as well. So copy up. Now come select this guy, type in Xclip, X-C-L-I-P. Select new boundary, select rectangular, and draw a rectangle around the second floor plan. Okay, so now let's take this guy and move it down. And you're going to place it right here. Okay, and we know that this exterior wall is aligned, so type in RAY. And again, the only reason we're doing this, yeah, we could have just drew these sections in the original file, but I want to show you guys how to utilize the X reference function, okay? This is typically how it works in a professional setting, because what will happen is you'll have somebody like working on the building sections or the building elevations, and then you have somebody working in the floor plan. You see what I'm saying? And I'll give you guys a demonstration of how that works in just a second. But what happens is, while you're working in the building elevations, you don't want to actually make a mistake and delete something out of the floor plan. Or if someone actually makes a change in the floor plan, you'll get a little sign over here that says you need to reload, and you reload the floor plan, and now you can see the change in the floor plan, and therefore you can make the change in your elevation drawing. So this is essentially how it's utilized in the field. Typically, when you have, especially large projects, you're going to have more than one person working on a project, and thankfully so, right? So you have to have this collaboration technique down packed, okay? You have to make sure that you're not overriding stuff that other people are working on and vice versa. And you have to make sure that you're getting updates. If there's an update to the floor plan that's made, when you reload your when you reload your X reference drawing, you are going to get an update that's going to apply to your elevation or your section drawing. And let's do a brief demonstration of that, okay? Let's go back to the Model A drawing. And let's go here to the floor plan. This is the one we have. We clipped all these other ones out, right? We only kept this one and this one. So let's say if I came here, and we can always undo this, and I just took the stair out. Say I wanted to, okay, I'm going to change the stair. I'm not going to have a stair. We know we need a stair. I'm just using this for, reference purposes. Say we're going to delete this toilet, and we're going to save. Hit Q save. Now when you go back to your model drawings, okay, see this little section right here? This little, in fact, let me move this guy because it's kind of in the way. So what happens is you'll get a message. You see this message? It says reload Dftg 1317 Model A because your X reference drawing was modified. So when you click reload, then you click OK. Well, now you can see what change they made, okay? It's showing you a big circle and say, okay, they deleted the whole stair in the toilet. So now you need to know if you're working on a section and you're drawing a section cut through that stair, that you need to just take that stair out, right? So that's how X-referencing works. It's really a collaboration technique. I like to show this to my students because this is what you're going to be, faced with when you actually go into the field, right? So just click Control Z to undo, get out of that, okay? And then you want to come back to this drawing and just hit undo. Bring everything back like it was, and hit Control S for save. Then come back to your Model A drawing and then reload the X reference, and everything will go back to normal. Okay. And it's going to show you what was changed, like it did before, and then you can just close this guy. All right. So that's the benefit of X referencing. Okay. Now let's actually show how the X clip function works. So we're gonna take a big saw, right? And we're gonna cut this building. We're gonna cut this building. We're gonna cut through this wall, and we're gonna cut through this window. Typically, you want to try to cut through something different with each section cut. Like I would not draw a section cut through this window, and I would not take a big saw and cut this building through this window or that window. Why? Because you have two section cuts through a window on this section cut, and you're not actually showing anything other than that. Whereas you really want to show what it's going to look like actually having a section cut go through this brick wall right here, right? Because this is, according to, in fact, let's go back. Let's see what this wall is. Let's look at this guy. Okay, so this wall is actually, it looks like the brick is just on the front. So we're only having brick on the front. It's just for aesthetic reasons. Everything else seems to be siding. So if you actually draw, and let's go back to the section drawing. If you actually draw a section cut, okay, you have a window here and you have a window here. You have some interior walls here. You have the kitchen here. You're actually not showing what the exterior wall looks like at the siding, okay? You have the exterior cut at the window, and you also have an exterior cut at the window here. Well, that's a little bit redundant. Contractors only really need to see it once as per any given section. So what I would do is I would take this guy here, this section cut line, and move it. I would move it up and place it right there, okay? So now you're cutting through the window, all right? And you're also cutting through the exterior wall here. And you're also cutting through the kitchen. You're cutting through a portion of the restroom and the stair, okay? So that is what's known as a really good section cut, all right? Now, we have to do the same thing that we are showing at the first floor at the second floor. So we know that this corner right here of the building is the same, and this corner right here of the building is the same. So what you would do is you would take this line and copy it, and you would use that corner as a reference point and copy it up, okay? Because you have a section cut, you have to show both floors, right? So you have a section cut at the first floor, and you have a section cut at the second floor, okay? Second floor, you don't have any choice but to show two walls that have exterior siding at its finish, right? So you have no choice but to show it that way, okay? Now what I want you to do is, let's type in X clip so I can show you guys how to utilize the X clip function. So you type in XCLIP, and you will select the reference that you want to clip. And then same principle. You want to new boundary, and you want to delete the old boundary. Yes. You want to use rectangle. So now you want to come here and grab this rectangle and select this section cut line here, and just draw a square around the building like this. All right. So now that's telling you that's what you want to see, okay? So on this side, when you project the lines down, RAY, this should be an exterior wall, okay? Let's hit escape to get out of that. And that's going to show you where your exterior wall is. So we'll go ahead and start cleaning some of this stuff out and start putting in exterior walls, okay? Here's another exterior wall, but this guy's through a window. So you want to type in RAY and project this guy down. And project this guy down. Don't project the window down. We're going to draw that in, okay? So this is how you'll start projecting these lines down. You're cutting through a stair here. This stair has some interior walls here, so you type in RAY. You want to go ahead and project all of your walls down, okay? That way you can get a sense of where the walls are. It'll also help you start to get a sense of, you know, how the building section is going to come into play, or is going to start coming together. So you would select here, project down, project down. We're cutting through the kitchen wall here, so you project down, project down. Okay, so That's essentially how this is going to work. So next, what we want to do is, let's go ahead and start cleaning up this elevation. Okay, we're doing an interior section, so let's cut this. Let's take this out and delete it. You can actually delete all the windows and the doors. Let's take those out. All of the hats that we put in there. Let's go ahead and take all of this stuff out. Let's take all of this stuff out. Take these doors out. I think this is a brick wall here. We can take that out. Let's take all of this stuff out. Because all of this stuff was used to what? Show the exterior, right? So let's go ahead and take all of this stuff out. Here, and here, and here, okay? And let's go ahead and do this, right? Now, and let's go ahead and take the roof hatch off. Let's leave the roof in because we will actually need to show a portion of that. We need to take these fascia plates out, but we can leave those in for right now. Let's take this hatch off, okay? And right, so I can kind of see how this thing is shaping up, okay? We can leave the slope markers on. Let's go ahead and start cleaning this thing up some at the base. So type in TR for trim. Let's go ahead and trim that like that. Because what's happening is, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to send you guys some PDFs over, okay? I'm going to PDF, in fact, let me go ahead and save this. And I'm going to open up a Rivet file, and I'm going to export that Rivet file to AutoCAD so we can have some components to work with. So just hang on 1 second. Let me open up that Rivet file. Let me make sure my volume is still working. Yes, perfect. And this is Rivet architecture, okay? I didn't want to stop the screen record. I want to just go ahead and open this guy up. And let's see the right residence. It's a small residence that I worked on. Let's see if it's, yeah, this guy here. I'm also showing this to you guys because you really, you know, after you get all of your CAD courses out of the way, you definitely want to take advantage of my Rivet courses. I teach residential and commercial because this is a program it's actually a CAD Pro software, and it gives us 3D models like this. And if you go here, you'd actually build the 3D model, okay? You build the 3D model and everything in the building, okay? So just kind of want to get you guys excited about that. We also draw the floor plans, okay? So everything is drawn in the floor plan, and then we build it out in the three-dimensional model, okay? So just to give you a brief demonstration, this is what it kind of looks like. We put all the furnishings in, everything is in 3D, all right? But the beauty about Rivet is, the reason why I'm opening up this file is because when you create everything, all right, let's go to the section drawings, okay? So we have section A, and this is typically what we're going to do, we're going to do this in CAD. You see how this is what the exterior walls are going to look like, all right? You have your insulation in that wall, you have your exterior siding, okay? Then you have your, in our file, we'll actually show the 3/4 inch jib. But the beauty about this is I can take this and I can export it to CAD. So export to CAD formats, DWG. And click next. And then let's go ahead to where we have it actually saved. Let's see, Intel, ACC, Dftg 1317. Let's see, do I want to put it in this work folder? Nah, no, I don't want to put it in there. Let's just say right residence section CAD export. and click OK. And what it did, it just exported it to CAD. So now if we go back to AutoCAD here, okay, and we go back to our section drawings, and we file, go to open to where it's saved, and we have this guy here. So you want to go ahead and click open. And now we have this in the AutoCAD setting, except some things that you have to delete. It won't show it right, like the insulation in the walls just came in all crazy. But we can take this, and I'll send you guys this CAD file, okay? We can take this, instead of having a PDF, I'm just gonna send you guys the CAD file itself. We can take this, hit Control C, and we could copy it into this drawing, hit Control V, okay? Why? Because we're going to take some of these components and we're going to utilize them, okay? Now, I don't know exactly, delete, there it is. Okay, we'll just delete that block. Delete. So as you can see, we didn't show any interior walls. So you have this big section cut. This is what a section cut through a window looks like, okay? When the contractors actually get ready to build the drawing, and when they start building the building, this is how they're going to build it. You have to show what's in the wall. You know, right now we have 3 2x headers. Okay, we have one seal here, and this is the actual window, and this is the actual siding on the exterior side of that wall. So we're going to do the same thing for our building. Okay, but that's just the beauty of the Rivet software. You can take it to AutoCAD whenever you're ready, and things are already drawn for you. So I'll just bring this in. I brought this in so you guys can actually see how things are being derived, okay? So first things first, when we're drawing building sections, keep in mind that we build from the ground up, okay? So we always want to start at the ground level. So let's go ahead and take these lines right here. Let's go ahead and move them up, okay? And let's go ahead and click here. Let's move them up. Let's go ahead and move them up. It'd be great if we could use a stretch function, but we don't want to mess with the concrete, right? Right. Now, let's take this guy, move it up. Okay, now let's take these lines right here. Let's actually put them on a section layer. So go to the Home tab. We have it on the site layer. So there's a section layer. Let's see, a roof. I think I saw the section layers below the imported layers. If the layer is grayed out like these are just layers that import with drawings that you bring in. These all white layers came in with the PDFs, if you remember. And these layers right here that are grayed out came in with the Rivet file that I just brought in. So let's go to, let's see, what do we have here? It's got to be, yeah, A section text, A section, it should be an A section wall. Section dimension, A section or general, A section insulation. Let's just use A section general. Put those on A section general, okay? And let's go ahead and let's just draw a line right here. Hit TR, and let's go ahead and get rid of all of those lines. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. You can take this and delete it. All right, so typically, just about every roof at the first floor, let's just say 10 feet. Let's try 10 feet. So offset the ground line, type in 10 feet. Maybe these are 9, so offset that down 1 foot. Offset, then type in 1 foot. Yeah, let's leave it at 9 feet. We'll do 9 feet. Okay, so let's take this line right here and trim it. And clean this up, clean that up, because we're getting ready to take this entire facial plate line out. So you want to take that out because you won't even see these because of where the building cut is. And I just moved something. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and take these out. Delete, delete, delete. And I don't know exactly what. Oh, yeah, we can take that out. And this is, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, first things first, what we want to do, let's go ahead and let's trim this wall. Let's trim this up. Clean it up here, clean it up here. You can, let's delete the ray lines, okay? And then you want to type in TR, clean it up here and here, all right? Now, this is our exterior wall, all right? And we'll have to do something at the foundation because we need to create a little 1-inch dap out for our inch and a half maybe for our siding housing, okay? So what you want to do, and we'll go back and we'll add the foundation in. We'll go back and add the foundation in later. So right now you can just leave it on slab. But let's take this guy and let's change the global width to 0 for right now until we actually determine what it's going to be, okay? And let's hit MA. You can match the properties. And change the global width of this guy to be 0, okay? Now what you want to do is, okay, typically the siding is 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. So let's offset this wall, okay? Offset this wall, offset it, and type in 1-1/2 and hit the space bar. If you don't tell it a value, it's automatically going to give you it in inches. So that's 1.5 inches, okay? Let's take a distance here. Perfect. So we have 1.5 inches, okay? And actually, let's do 1 inch, not 1.5 inches. Let's do 1 inch. Let's go offset 1 inch, okay? And right now it's 5. We went with 6 inch. We went with 6 inch. We went with 6-inch wall studs, right? So what we're going to do is there is a 2 different sizes, okay? When you're dealing with timber and timber only. If you have metal studs, the sizes are as they are called out. But when you're dealing with timber, when you're dealing with wood, okay, if you have a 6-inch stud, that's what's called a nominal size, okay? Let's go here. This is a little teaching session. 6-inch nominal size. 6-inch stud, nominal size. I need to go back and connect. Let's see. And it may take forever. Okay. So 6-inch stud, the nominal size, if it's metal, is 6 inches. Okay. If it's wood, it's 6 inches. But a 6-inch stud actual size, 6-inch, let's say wood, six-inch wood stud actual size, okay, it's always a 1/2 inch less than what it is, than what is called out. Okay. So see this 2x6? And I'll save this and send this to you guys as well. So you can have the actual sizes versus the nominal sizes. Let's see, desktop. We'll just say wood. Okay. I'll send that guys to you as well. All right. Or I'll send that guide to you as well. I'll send that guide to you guys. All right. So let's go back to the drawing. Okay. So if we had used 2x4s, then the actual size of that 2x4 wall is not 2x4, it's 1.5 by 3.5. They always knock a half inch off of the wood for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so when you're drawing these sections, this is a good time when you make sure that you have all of your wall thicknesses correct. Okay, I typically draw them in specifically when I'm actually designing the floor plan, but I wanted to go through this with you guys so you guys can see how this will matriculate back over into your floor plan even after you draw the sections. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. Just once the sections is drawn, you go back to your main AutoCAD file and you import your sections in, or you X-reference your sections in, and then you go and make sure you have all of your interior and exterior walls drawn in on the floor plan at the right dimension, okay? So right now, if we do a DI, this guy's drawn in at 5 inches when it really needs to be 5.5, right? Because it's a 6-inch wall stud. So delete that line and type in O for offset, and then type in 5-1/2. Okay? And then on top of that, you're going to type in offset, and then you're going to type in 5/8 inch 5/8 for gypsum board. This is your finish, okay? So that's your overall wall thickness, okay? And that needs to be reflected at your exterior walls on your floor plans, right? So that's why I didn't draw it in, because I wanted you guys to go through that process, because your repetition is your best teacher. So now when you do a DI of the overall wall thickness, your exterior walls at the first floor should at least be 7 inches, okay? That is the accurate dimension. So now, what do we do now that we have all of this new information? So let's match the properties, make sure that we're all on the same, okay? And let's take this guy and do it this way. And typically, let's see, typically, I don't want a TR. Let's do it this way. Because I kind of like to be specific. REC. Let's take a rectangle and draw it from here to here. Because I like to have a rectangle because we have to actually give that gyp, we have to give the gyp a hatch. So take that line and then deselect it. Deselect the rectangle and then delete that line that we have there. And then let's go ahead and delete that line that we have here. Sorry, I deleted too much. Okay, there's our rectangle. So select this line and then hold down Shift and deselect the rectangle and then delete it here. And there's our rectangle. It's still there. And let's go ahead and delete this line because we don't need it anymore. And we can delete this line because we don't need it anymore. And now we have a rectangle there. This is going to be our, and it depends. It depends. I typically like to show an 1.5 inch dap out at the base of this guy. So what you'll do is, let's go ahead and draw a line like this. And then let's take this, let's draw a line right here. And then offset that line 1 inch. Let's take it and draw it here. Now let's trim it, okay? Trim it, trim it, trim it, trim it. And hit MA to match the properties. Because we know that's our new, what's called a ledge. We have to have a ledge to actually house the siding finish, right? So now what you want to do is you want to type in REC. I'm going to come here, and we'll go back and assign layers later, okay? So now this is your siding finish. Hold down the Shift, deselect. Wait, this is your siding. Select this guy, hold down Shift, deselect the rectangle, and delete that line, okay? Then let's take this line and just leave it just like this, all right? Now let's go ahead and assign, and we still have a line here that needs to go away. So highlight it, unhighlight the rectangle that we drew for our siding. And now we can go ahead and put this on a layer. So this is a site setback. We know it's not the proper layer. Let's see what section. Typically when you have layers for sections, most of them are generic because there's so many components to a building section that you know, they just create these layers and give them nonchalant names, okay? Like, see this one that says section general, we actually put that on a wall layer. These are section dimensions, section concrete, section insulation, section text. So let's just, I don't want to say put it on a general. Actually, stair concrete section text. Let's put it on this, I don't want to say, let's create a new layer. Actually select that section text layer when we have to do this, okay? Select that section text layer. Let's go back to it, or this dimension layer, select it. Let's go to layer properties. That way we can create a section and we won't have to scroll down. We already know that it's gonna have that layer that we just selected highlighted, and we know where to actually create the new layer because we're not keep them all together, or it should have it highlighted. Or is it? Let's see, A section text. What was it? A section dimension, this guy. No, why it wasn't highlighted. Because we didn't put it on there. A section dimension. Thought I did. Sometimes AutoCAD will do that too. You have to watch it. Because if you don't select the layer that you want to, like we want to select this one, okay, so when we open up the layer properties menu and we come here and we click new layer, it's going to create a layer in that section area, okay? So let's just say, S, keep it lowercase, S dash section, S dash section, dash, let's just say siding. And we want that to be dark, so let's give it a dark blue layer, something like, let's use color number 5. Okay. Let's see, it's saying, I guess it's saying it already has that layer. Okay, close this out. Cancel it. Rename. Let's come here, S siding -1. And then hit enter. Okay. Now, let's create another layer. Okay, yeah, we know this. AutoCAD is glitching. So go ahead and close it out. Now, let's come here and let's select this layer and let's put it on that layer that we just created, okay? S foundation dimensions. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? It's at the bottom somewhere. It's always kind of tedious when you actually start drawing new things because you have to get used to that set of layers and where it is on the layer palette menu. So let's keep going down. It's down here, okay. Is foundation dimension. A section dimension. A section general. Why didn't they create? Okay. Didn't create it. All right, let's go back and try it again. It did not create it. See how it's on A section general? So you want to come right here, new layer, and you want to call it A dash section dash, let's say citing. Hit enter. And come over here and let's put it on this blue layer. Click OK. Okay. I'll close it out. Now, this is A section general. I think I've typed in A. There's some layer issues here. Yeah, I typed in A when it should have been S. But put it on that A section general. And then you want to come here, A section citing. It should be S. So go to the layer property menu, click this one, right, rename, and put it in. So I can actually go down by the section drawing and close this out. So now when we actually click this one, S section is by all of the rest of the section layers, okay? So that's siding. This is, we're going to call this one gypsum. I doubt if they have one created for it. A section siding. AS wall section gypsum. There it is. Okay. Put that on AS wall section gypsum. There we go. And I'll show you guys how to purge all these layers out so we don't have to actually scroll through all these. S section general, S section siding, slab gypsum. Let's see. S wall section gypsum. Let's draw a line. Okay, that's S wall section gypsum MA for time reasons. Let's put that on the right one. Okay. S wall sections take time. They do. Once you, especially since we're creating layers and having to do a lot of things that we typically would not have to do. Okay, so next things what you need to do is I would come over here and you see this guy right here, just copy this. That's why I brought it in. And you may have to modify it we may have to modify it if it's not, yeah, it's a little bit big. So you select it, type EXPLODE, explode, and you blow it up. So now you can take this and you can move it to where it needs to be, okay? You can delete this one, it actually had 2 lines there. You can take this guy and you can move it to where it needs to be, okay? You can move it to where it needs to be. And this guy, you can move it to where it needs to be. Delete, had 2 lines. And then what you want to do is you want to block it back up because what's happening is you'll just copy this one all the way around. So this is what's known as a bottom plate. This is a 2x4 stud. So type in BLOCK and just say stud. You want to select the objects and you want to select here. You want to select here, 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 and here. With the space bar, there's your block. Now you want to take these and you want to copy it up, okay? And at the top, you always have a double top plate, okay? There's always a double top plate at the top. I'll send you guys some documentation to kind of reference with all of this stuff. I'll probably send some PDFs as well of some examples of construction documents. Now, the reason we've done that is because now we can hatch this. Okay, and we can select here. Okay, and that's our exterior wall. We don't actually need it to be scale. We don't need it to be, let's change it to something else. We don't need it to be that fine. Put it that way. I almost want to go with that user one. Yeah, let's use that one. No, I don't like that one. Let's go with this guy. Let's just change the scale. Change it to 0.025. No. Make it bigger. Let's go to 4. Yeah, our scale. Let's go to 8. Yeah, something like that. That's fine. Now let's do another hatch here. Okay, and we're gonna hatch. Let's see. Let's click here, and then select it, and let's change it to. I think we have gypsum in here. If we don't have it, you can use the concrete one. It kind of looks like gypsum. AR roof. No, we don't want that one. Grass, honey, hex, gravel. Where is it? Swamp. Okay, where is that one? We'll just use that. This one. There it is. Use sand. It kind of looks like gyp. Okay. I know you can barely see it, right? But it's there. Or did we delete it? I think we deleted it. I think I deleted it. Yeah. But once we draw this in once, you already know what it is. It's just taking a little time because I'm selecting things. We're going to use that sand. AR sand. And then let's change this to 0.025 to make it a little bit, well, that's maybe a little bit too dense. Let's see, what did I put? 0.05. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. So that's what your gypboard wall will look like. Gypboard is the finish that you see on the inside of any building. This wall actually receives the paint. It actually receives, a base at the bottom. We'll actually go ahead and we'll put the base in a second here, okay? But essentially, that's what you're gonna have, okay? We have our ceilings drawn in at 9 feet, all right? So what you'll do is, you'll take this one, okay? This entire wall set up, and you will mirror it. Let's just say MI, and just select here and drag up because you have the same exterior wall condition over here, except this one has a window in it, right? So you take this and you just move it close because we have to do what? We have to modify the foundation to receive the siding, right? So what did we do? We did, let's go line, offset 1 inch. And then offset 1 inch. Right. All right, so now you can take this line and just delete it because we've already drawn it. Delete. And you take this guy and you just go ahead and move it in. Now typically there's a damp proofing membrane that goes in here, when we actually draw our, let's just say when we draw our wall sections and stuff like that, that's when we'll get into more of those fine details. But right now, we just need to show the contractor what the building looks like, okay? Now, let's do, these are our two exterior walls. We'll go back and put the window in, okay? Because at this portion, there's gonna be a second story, right? We'll talk about that later. But we'll have a whole deal here for the second story, okay? So now let's take these guys because we have 6-inch walls everywhere, right? You can take this guy and you can take the gypboard because now on the interior walls, you have gypboard on both sides. So let's go ahead and copy this guy over. Okay? And you have to update your interior walls, okay? Let's copy this guy over. Actually, here's what I say do. Let's do it like this. Oops. Because we don't know how this is going to fall once we, let's do this. Let's copy this. And let's just bring it over here. Because what's happening is we're going to have to center this on that wall. So what I like to do is sometimes I'll just draw a line. Then I'll draw a line up to give me my center line. And some people say that's a little bit elementary, but you have to find out what works for you. Especially with AutoCAD, it's just easy to just draw a line. Now you can take this one and place it here, okay? Now you can take this one, and then copy it. But select the point right here because you know it's going to be centered on this wall, right? So you select this point right here, right? And then you select, just drop it there. And then you want to just drop it there. And then you want to just drop it there. And then you want to just drop it here. So essentially, guys, when you get good, when you actually start working on a lot of these, like you won't do this. You won't draw your interior walls in. You have all of that stuff right from the beginning. The only reason I did it this way was because I wanted to show you guys the process as regards how sections should actually work with your floor plan. This is what I meant when I said, if you're drawing projects wrong, you either just don't care or you're not checking things, okay? You should always check things, and if you're always checking things, if there's an error somewhere, and there will be, even amongst the professional ranks, there's no perfect set of drawings, okay? There's no perfect set of drawings. Even sometimes drawings will go to permitting, they'll get approved by the city and the state, and then buildings will actually be constructed, and then you're still having addendas and change orders because they found the discrepancy on the drawing. So the best thing you can do is just check yourself in every form, way, or fashion, and produce the best possible set that you can. However, when I say no perfect set, I don't mean you should have something so glaring that's gonna kill the project. You follow me? Minute errors always occur. You may have a line here or a line there, but for the most part, as regards to the structure of the building and things being in order as they should be, that stuff will tell on itself before you actually complete the drawing, okay? So these are our interior walls. So now what do we need to do? Okay, we need to put this chipboard on both sides, right? So you select this guy, type in MI for mirror, then you come here, then drag up, right click, wait. MI for mirror, and then you hit this right here, and then you select here, you drag up, and now you right click, delete sort objects, no, okay? And now you want to take this guy, and you want to copy it over, okay? Right here, and right here, and right here. And then you want to drop another one right here, even though I think that, no, that's going to be a different condition, okay? All right, so once you have that, okay, what you do now is you carry over your double top plate. Okay, your double top plate is going to be the same. So you right click and click copy. And you just copy this guy over. And then you just copy, we forgot to bring some chipboard. We'll come back and get that one. We'll come back and get those. Apparently I didn't copy them. Just copy this double top plate over. And you'll copy this double top plate over here. Okay. And now let's take this chipboard here and copy. Yeah. Actually, I should have copied. And you want to click right here. And you want to click here. And you want to click here. And you want to click here. Okay, go ahead and delete this guy. So as you can see, these are all our walls that we projected down on the first floor. Okay. So how is this working? Okay, this is the second story. This is the second, let's see, let's look at this. Okay, let's project this wall down, R-A-Y. It should be in alignment with the same wall at the first floor. Delete. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's that same wall. So that's that same wall. So this wall is going to go all the way up. So you can TR, just trim that one. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is draw a line here. Okay. Let's draw it from here to about right here. All right. Let's go ahead and delete this line. We'll come back to it. I just wanted to make sure things were lining up. Let's delete both of them. Let's delete it all, just like that. Now what you're gonna have is, at the second story, you're gonna have what's known as a 2x12 floor joist, okay? So instead of drawing it in, we are going to, instead of drawing it in at 12 inches, we're gonna draw it in at what, 11.5. So this is 2 by 11.5. So you're gonna hit offset, and you're gonna hit 11-1/2 inch, and offset that guy up, okay? So now you can come here and you can draw a line here, and you can draw a line, let's just say right here. Let's go ahead and extend this one over and trim this one, okay? And you can actually take this guy. This one will actually go all the way up. Okay, so now this is your second story. Let's project the lines from the second floor down. Okay, let's go ahead and X-clip this. X-C-L-I-P. Select this guy. Hit this guy. X-clipping on. No. Select objects. Select this guy. New boundary, delete old boundaries. Yes, rectangular. Let's go ahead and click here, and let's all the way through, right? So at the second floor, we're going to have this exterior wall, and looks like we have an interior wall here, R-A-Y. So now we're drawing the walls at the second floor. Okay. We're going to have a R-A-Y, just like this. And just like this. So now when we actually come down, we didn't project this one. Let's go ahead and do it anyway, R-A-Y, even though we know it's already lined up. Just draw it anyway. So what's happening is, let's go ahead and take this guy and let's copy it up. So you're going to come here and let's place this wall at the second floor. All right. Now, what you want to do is, we know that these are all the second floor's walls. So let's go ahead and just trim it right here. And then let's go ahead and delete all of these lines. We don't need them anyway. What do we have? Delete them. We don't need any more. Okay. And now we can take this guy. Let's move it up some and draw a little line. Make sure the ortho is set. Let's take this one and move it up to about right there. Let's go ahead and delete that line. Hit S for stretch. Grab this and let's stretch this all the way up. We'll just stretch it all the way up because we have to tell it where to stop once we determine what our second floor roof height is going to be. So now what we need to do is we need to copy these guys around just like we did at the first floor. So copy. Okay. And we'll place, I think that line is like this. I think that must be a little closet or something. So we'll use the inside line for this one because we don't know exactly. No, actually, let's use the outside line. Let's take this one, hit copy. Because this wall, we need to make sure we have it drawn right. It looks a little bit small. You see what I'm saying? And looking at the second floor, I don't know exactly what that wall is. Hit Control Tab to toggle through. Let's see what that wall is at the second floor. Oh, that's this little wall. Okay. It should be a 6-inch wall. Okay, so we'll have to update that wall thickness. All right. But we'll do that later. Let's go ahead and, so really what I want you guys to do is, wherever that wall is, don't exceed that face of it, okay? So yeah, and we'll just update the floor plan, right? We'll update the floor plan to show all 6-inch walls. All right, so now let's go ahead and copy this. Now let's go ahead and copy this. And let's go ahead and copy one over here. And let's go ahead and copy one right here. Let's see, I think we are exceeding. Oh yeah, that's fine. They're all 6-inch walls. So we're going to copy right. So we're going to copy this guy here. I think I grabbed it in the wrong spot. Yeah, let's place it there. And then we'll copy this guy. We'll copy this wall up, if that makes sense. So, copy. And that jib wall, that jib board, we can delete this one. And we'll take this one and just drag it up. I know you guys, I know this probably doesn't make sense to a lot of you guys because I know you guys are not architects. Typically, you're just learning how to draft it, but you still need to know a little something about construction documents, right? So that's exactly what we're drawing. Hit stretch. Let's stretch this one up just like we did on the opposite side. This is, actually, no, we don't stretch this one up. You know why? Leave it right there, okay? Because this one is going to actually show siding at the second floor. So we'll take this one and we'll do something like that and we'll modify it later, okay? So let's see how tall the maybe we'll have 8 foot at the second floor. 8'6". Yeah, maybe we do the second floor at 8 foot. Offset, enter 8 foot. do I like the 8 foot? Or maybe let's do 9. Let's see what 9 looks like. Offset 9 foot. So offset the floor 9 foot. What we're doing here is we're setting the ceiling heights. Okay. Yeah, let's go with 9 foot. So we'll take this and we'll just stretch it out. Typically the jip will go 6 inches past the roof. But we'll get into that in greater detail later. So now what we need to do is let's go ahead and clean this up. Let's get rid of the fascia. Okay. Let's get rid of the fascia here. Let's go stretch. Hit TR. Now, let's get rid of this line here. Okay. Now let's take that double top plate, that same double top plate. All top plates are always double. Okay. Let's go ahead and drag it up. And let's place it right there. Then copy again. Copy these guys over. Oops. Oh yeah, let's stretch these up. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's stretch these guys up. All right, so right click, stretch. Let's put it right there. Okay, now copy. Bring this guy over. Bring this guy over. Bring this guy over. And bring this guy over. And actually, let's bring this guy over. Okay. And then we could actually, and we may have to adjust this depending on, you know, we may have to adjust it. We may have to raise the roof up a little bit. We'll see. But right now, let's just go ahead and bring this guy up. I'm telling you now, we're probably going to, from looking at it with the knowledge that I have, either we're going to have to lower the plate height or actually raise the roof up just a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. So stretch. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe we should do something like 9'6". Because what's happening at the first floor, this is that garage, okay? And the roof is going this way. So we would have, you know, right now we're just getting the framing in place, okay? Let's just set it right there, okay? Yeah. Let's go back and look here, okay. So what's the shortest distance? DI. And I'm just gathering some information, guys. What's happening is the rafters in the ceiling at the garage will always span the shortest distance. So I think the shortest distance is going from here. I think this is longer. So we'll have beams 16 inches on center going across here. And I know that kind of confuses most of you, especially if you don't have architectural background. But you'll see what I'm talking about once we actually get to it. Yeah, okay. So that's essentially just your framing. We still have a lot of stuff to add in. Yeah, we'll just leave this as is for right now. I'm thinking either we'll lower the plates at the top I like to keep it clean though. I like to keep it at 8 foot or 9 foot. I don't want to do something like 8'6" or something like that. I would like to keep it very, very clean, but we'll see once we actually get to it, okay? We'll see once we actually get to it. So let's go ahead and draw a line right here, all right? And let's go ahead and let's bring this guy back down, stretch, because this is actually going to stop right here. Then you have this guy that's going to extend over, okay? And we have 2x6 framing, so let's offset this guy 6 inches, OF, not 6 feet, inches. Let's type in 6. Okay. So this one might actually be perfect. It might actually be perfect at the first floor. Let's go ahead and extend this one over. All right. And I typically like to put a little blocking up against that wall. Let's see, copy. Let's take this guy, then you want to rotate it. And let's take this and move it right here. Up 5.5, delete that. Offset 5-1/2. Now it should be perfect, okay? Because you're going to span this distance, right? Now, this is the roof line. Let's see. Offset, let's go 1 inch. Offset, go 1 inch. And then offset, let's go 5.5. Select this guy down. Okay. So that's essentially what you're going to have. So this guy will go like this. You have a line to come up here. Okay. You can feel it, that guy. All right. And that's essentially how it's going to come together. We'll clean these edges up once we get to them. I just wanted to see how it's actually going to all work together. All right, and then you come here and you trim this guy. Then you come here and you trim this guy, you trim this guy. All right, now you take this one and you copy it. This one you just, and this jip won't go this far down because you don't need it. Let's see. So you want to grab this, and stretch it, move it first, and make it even. Delete the reference. Now stretch. Let's take this and just stretch this up until we determine how far we need to come down with it. Just place it right there. Okay, now let's take this guy, copy it up. So you have this guy that'll go right here. Let's take this and clean it up. Let's take that and clean it up. Well, actually, this, the siding will come down, and we'll have to flash it, but that's when we get to the details. Siding will come down right here. Something like that. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get that just like that. And then there's going to be just an exposed rafter right here in the attic space of the garage. So you only show the siding. Like this is open attic space in the garage. These are the rafters in the garage. So that's essentially how it's going to come together. We'll clean this up. We'll clean this up at a later date. Let's see. I think that facial plate might be a little bit, yeah, let's offset that 6 inches. So offset, type in 6. So you see, a lot of this stuff is going to change how your elevation is going to look, right? take this and boom. Well, you know what? Let's leave it at 8. Sorry, just leave it at 8. We'll come back and clean that up later because we have some things we have to put in here. Okay, and we'll do that in part 2 of the video. So now we have the plate heights right at the first floor. We know that the plate heights are should be 9 feet. Just want to double check. Let's see. It's showing 8.6. The top of the plate height is 9 feet. I think it should be 9 feet. Let's see. Offset 9 feet. (8'6". What do we have at the second floor? Okay, I want to try something. Let's see if we can clean this up really quick. I always like more space at the first floor. So let's go here and draw a line. Then offset that line 9 feet. Okay. So now once you offset that line 9 feet, let's go ahead and just grab all of these. Grab all of this. This. This, this, and this, and this. We'll have to clean it up some. And actually, when you get good enough, okay, like typically when I do these types of residences, if I'm using AutoCAD, then I'm sketching a section out on sketch paper. And I'm drawing the section first. Reason being, because the section will drive how your elevation and your floor plan is going to look, all right? But that's when you get some experience and you actually know what you're doing. So let's go ahead and hit M for move. Now, there we go. I'm going to delete this line, okay? Now let's go ahead and stretch this guy up. And let's stretch these guys up. Let's stretch. I'm gonna have to go back and add the hatch. Let's stretch these guys up. So you hit S, okay? If you don't remember how to utilize the stretch command. And that actually works perfect, stretch. Right. See, now this guy is actually nailing up against that double top plate, which is perfecto. Okay. Now let's clean this second floor up, stretch. Let's see if we can do this all in one motion. Yes. Let's stretch. Yes, all of them stretched up. So for this guy, hit S, and just stretch it up. All right, so now we should have 9 feet at the first floor. Yes, and let's see what we actually have at the second floor. As long as we have 8 feet or so, we're fine. But if it's a weird number, okay, 8'6" is good. 8.6 is good. Let's go ahead and change this to building section AA. BUILD, building section AA. Let's go ahead and delete this guy. Okay, so that's the first segment of the building section video. In the next segment, we'll go ahead and get everything right with the roof. We'll go ahead and start adding some things that, like notes and things of that nature, and then we'll draw the second one, okay? But that's essentially how you start your building section. Actually, before we go, let's make this, because I'm looking at this, I don't want to raise the roof. Let's take this line and offset it. Offset it to 8 foot. Okay? And let's go ahead and move these down. In fact, I want to stretch them all, but it's going to be kind of rough to grab them all at the same time. But we can move all of these at the same time. Okay. Because I don't want to have to raise the roof. All right. Let's go here. Let's go here. And let's see. Move. Let's do something like that. Okay, take this line and delete it. Let's go ahead and stretch these two down. Yeah, that looks a little bit better for what I want to show at the roof. Stretch. See. Yeah. So we go offset 1 inch. And offset 5-1/2. Okay. Now, let's look at that. And one thing I didn't bring in was the roof plan, but I could actually toggle over and look at it and see. So at this cut, I think it's somewhere like this. Okay, so you're gonna have some, and we'll bring this in the next drawing, and I'll show you guys how to project those lines down. But for right now, this is what your section drawing should look like. And go ahead and take this and drag it down. Yeah, this is what your section drawing should look like at this time. All right, so when we come back, we'll go ahead and get everything right with the roofs. All right, we'll put the joist in so they can be shown as they should be shown. And we'll go ahead and start getting things annotated up. And we may go ahead and put the foundation in, show the spread footings and things of that nature. But first things first, we still have to get the roof right. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to end it here. And there will be a part 2 to this video where we'll get the roof right. And then I will probably let you guys take a stab at this guy. Because once you draw one, then you can draw all the rest of them, right? But I may do it, I may do it kind of like I did the elevations. I don't know. But let's go ahead and jump to the next video. Thank you.